Hello there. Well, today I'm on my woodland stream, which is one of my favourite ones because I've fished it for so long. It's not a chalk stream, but it runs through some beautiful countryside. 2 heat waves this year, and we've just got rid of one, and it's much cooler now, even though the sun has come out and it's quite hot. But we stopped fishing last week because of the high temperatures of the water. But so I've got to be particularly careful now, and this is the late afternoon coming into the evening, and I hope it'll get even cooler than it is now. And I'm fishing with a Tenkara rod, a 10'8" Tenkara rod. Now, the last time I was here, the river was full of water, but we haven't had any rain for quite a few weeks, and these rivers are very dependent on it. But there's some interesting things along the bank which I hope to just point out on our way. Here's the first one. It's just it's a wildflower, but rather nice. It's a meadowsweet. I wouldn't be able to pronounce the Latin name for it, but I rather like the old English names for these flowers. Now, this first part of the river isn't so wooded, but they're lovely meadows, and there's always interesting things. I've seen orchids, I've seen hare in these meadows, so I'm always keeping my eyes out for things. These meadows are chemical free, and that's why they're so interesting. Well, for a few moments from a distance I thought these were orchids, but they're not. They're I think it's woundwort, but I shall look it up when I get home. Pretty little flower though. Well, I was nearly right, but it's a lovely flower. Now, one of the advantages of the Tenkara rod, they're so easy to carry when they're folded, and they're so easy to make up. They are quite long, and I would normally be fishing with a much shorter rod, but you learn a lot from fishing with a Tenkara rod. You learn you don't need to cast as far as we do with a rod and a reel. We tend to, because we can cast further, we tend to perhaps overcast and maybe disturb fish that are closer. Now I'm above the meadows, and now I'm into the woodland, and there is a lot of bracken around this time of the year. Now, this ash tree is the biggest ash tree along this river. A lot of ash trees have died with ash dieback. This one's got dieback, but it's far from dead, and I'd be very sorry. I've known this one for most of my life, well, at least from 13 years old, and I'll be very sad to see it go. It is a beautiful tree. You can see as we get closer. Because this is along here was ash, riverine woodland. Certainly a lot of bracken. But I can't get to the river just there because of the bracken. Now that's a fine hazel stall, that is, and that's quite old. That's one tree. Don't know when it was last coppiced. Now I'm hoping I don't pick up a tip pushing through all this bracken, because it's at least 5 feet high in most places, and I'm really pushing through. Well, here's another plant. It's called lady's bedstraw. It's quite a fragrant plant, and I wonder if in the past They used to stuff mattresses with it. I don't know, but that's its name. Ladies' bed straw. Well, it wasn't a complete blank. It was a little tiny chub. Where is he? Let's see. Swim. Here he goes, look. I hesitated because I thought it might have been a dace, but it wasn't. There you go. Well, I've finished for the day and I'm on my way home, and it's lovely to go through some countryside which is unspoilt, not treated with chemicals or fertilizers. You get a lot of biodiversity. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click a like and maybe subscribe so you can see another one in the future. Goodbye for now.